welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is Ben Talbot. Ben, welcome.
Nice one, Dom.
Right, so we're at Christchurch. Obviously, you've been here for a while, so you're on the syndicate now. Now it's turned syndicate from day ticket. So you're doing all right. Talk us how you've been getting on since it started.
Well, since the start, I've managed to get into some of the better ones, some of the ones that I'd actually bookmarked, actually.
Yeah.
From the very first session I've done in here. This is like way before it turned syndicate. So yeah, I feel quite lucky that I managed to get some of the ones that I wanted.
Yeah.
And
some of the 18.
Some of the 18 ones, mate. Yeah. Some of the ones that are a bit more tricky to catch.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that don't really show up as much as some of the other ones, the bigger ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel quite lucky, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I've seen a few of the pictures on Instagram. How many have you had so far? What's the tally?
Total carp up to yet. I've had 19 and lost 2.
Right.
Managed to catch 740s.
Nice.
Up to yet. Yeah, 740s.
Yeah. And we're only in October.
Yeah, well, this is the best month. I love October on here.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, we were just saying, weren't we? It feels prime.
Oh, it feels real
mild,
good tonight, mate.
overcast.
There's a low cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels real good. This is the peg in here. This is my opinion anyway. This is a peg in these conditions. So yeah, I'm in pole position.
Yeah, brilliant. And in terms of, I mean, have you done anything? Because obviously, when did you first start? Was it last year?
Properly started fishing down here, mate. Yeah, last June.
And have you sort of done anything different now than what you were doing last year?
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, like if there's any place, again, I'm quite biased towards this place because.
Yeah.
Like yourself, like you know yourself, you fish down there.
Yeah.
It's quite addictive down there, and I fished here quite a lot in that time. And yeah, it's learned. If there's any place in this country that's going to learn anything about your angling, it's this place, 100%.
Yeah.
And I've learned loads and loads of stuff, mate. And the things that I've put into practice this year have definitely helped me bank more fish.
Yeah. 100%. Can you sort of talk about what you've done differently?
Just in terms of baiting approach, just in terms of spots. Mm-hmm. As well, like in my opinion, there's a lot of gravel in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a gravel pit. There's a lot of spots in there that are the going spot. And like in every swim, there'll be a spot that everybody will come and they'll cast to, and they're quite happy to sit there and fish on these spots.
Yeah.
But I quickly learnt that, yeah, you would catch carp, but you'd catch the same carp as everyone else. You won't catch the ones that you'd look at and think, oh, bloody hell, I'd love to catch him. You know what I mean? So sort of changed my approach a little bit, and that approach has done me good, mate. Yeah.
Nice. It's also like fishing off the sides of the spots.
Yeah, just off the sides and backs, and even not being afraid to fish in like the softer stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas some lads in here would think, oh, because I'm not fishing the gravel, maybe I'm not fishing.
Yeah.
But 100%, mate. That silt can be a winner, definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think I said it before, like on the better ones I had. I mean, I've only had a few out there.
Yeah.
But same thing, off the side in the spots.
Oh, mate, off the side
spots.
Yeah, definitely. Predominantly, I'd always start right at the back of the spot. Mm-hmm. Just for a number of reasons, really. Line lay, and then because I always think to myself, if I start short on spots, I've sort of committed with the bait as well. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be fishing through my bait through gravel either. Mm-hmm. So I always start at the back. And if that doesn't work, I'll go to the sides. And then if the sides don't work, I'll come to the front.
Right.
That's how I sort of like work the spots. And obviously, if I manage to catch off one area, then I'll focus my attention on that particular area. Yeah.
And obviously, you messaged me this morning. You'd had one. So what was that you had this morning?
Yeah, this morning was actually one that I was really keen to catch, actually.
Yeah.
And last night, no, it wasn't. Sorry, last night it was early hours this morning. I don't like putting my headlight on at night. It's not me being sneaky about my carp, about my fishing or anything. It's just, I just like to put it in. I almost like to go back out when I dug my net, put the light on. It's more of a reveal type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So once I've gone out and seen what I've got, I just put it in the retainer for an hour or so, wait for the light to come up, and I was like sat on my bed thinking, oh, what could it be?
Yeah.
It's only I know for a fact it couldn't have been either of the perches because of the dorsal.
Right.
They're quite recognisable fish, as well as there's another big common in here called Litch's Common. It's got like a little hole through its dorsal. That's recognisable. Yeah. Straight from the off, so it could only be a handful of them. But the one that actually turned out to be was one of the ones that I weren't even thinking about, which is another, which was a nice surprise. Yeah, it was a fish called Long Common. Went 40 £3 on the nose.
Brilliant.
So I was made up to catch that fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, really made up.
Awesome. What in terms of bait? How's that been going? Like, are you fishing over a lot of bait?
Nah, genuinely, mate. I don't carry a lot of bait anyway.
Yeah.
I just like to fish for I know it sounds a bit cliche, but I do like to fish for a bite.
Yeah.
And then if I can sort of like get something going in wherever I'm fishing, then I'll introduce more bait or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really fish over a lot of bait. It's just sort of, like I say, you're just trying to get that one fish. You can't come here and bag up.
Yeah.
It's not that type of pond.
No.
So if you can come here and have one,
yeah,
and then the conditions still favour you fishing that swim, then you can have 2 on the second night. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just set up, mate, just to catch one fish per session, really.
Yeah, and obviously on a lake like this, that one bite chance. Well,
that one fish could be a season maker.
Yeah, was it 19 fish, and you said was it 7?
Yeah, I've had 740s. Yeah, this
so
season.
Just goes to show, doesn't it? Not
Yeah,
far
I
off.
said
Like
one of the
50%.
favourites I had actually was a fish called Toe Jam.
Yeah.
On opening week.
Yeah.
When the lads were allowed to come round and do a lap and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd done a couple of laps actually early doors. Got up here quite early.
Yeah.
I'd done a couple of laps and I seen a lot of fish up towards Peg 10.
Right.
And around the point area, like a lot of fish love spending the time up there all year round. And I seen a lot of fish up there, like a big group of them.
Yeah.
I was just hoping and praying they came out in a draw, like a good draw. And my dog gone up the calf. They came out first. So I dropped straight in the point.
Yeah.
And they had a fish called Poulis. That fish does love a capture, don't get me wrong, but he's an incredible carp.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history behind that fish.
Yeah,
Lovely old
fish.
carp.
Yeah.
And I was made up to catch him.
Yeah.
And then
don't stop rubbing your trousers because it'll pick up on the thing.
yeah, a couple of hours, 12 hours after, or something, same approach again.
Yeah.
I managed to catch Toe Jam, which caused me absolute chaos. Just a quick one. I'd hooked it, just typical big fish take really. Just a couple of bleats, pulled into the blank real tight, and just held its position.
Yeah.
And I'd gone down to the rods and just like kneeled down. I was just wait. You know when you just wait for that take, and it's not happened. I thought, So I thought anyway, I'm just going to pull into it. So I pulled into it, it's like locked up real tight.
Yeah.
So I tried to pull it, and with fishing braid, although I don't like pull the head off fish, you can give them a little bit of stick. So I pulled and like I tried to pull it through, it just wouldn't budge. But as I was pulling through, the middle rod's like bleeping as well. So I thought, what's going on here? So anyway, pulled the left hander, and what I've had to do is I've had to stab my left hand rod between my legs, hold my middle rod, and pull them both at the same time.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, pull them both at the same time. And I was thinking, this is not going to end well. So I had to literally stab them in the silt, leave them standing on their own, and go and get my headlight, just to see what the mess was about.
Yeah.
So I've gone to the brolly, got my headlight, and I come out, and I shone it just about 20, 30 yards out, and I could see this absolute huge common. As soon as I seen that fish, I was like, oh my God, I've got to get this fish in the net.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that fished on here called Webby, who was in Peg 6, which is literally just a few yards away. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Webby. Trying not to be loud, but I had to be loud. People were fishing. So yeah, he didn't answer me. And then my cousin was fishing in the entries. He didn't answer his phone. But luckily, one of my mates was fishing over Stone Acres, and he was doing a bit of filming or what. Excuse me, doing a bit of filming or whatnot. Yeah. So he's come running over here, straight for the bloody silt pond at the back. Come straight in, pants off, straight in the pond. Managed to sort it all out, got it in. Yeah, it's a fish called Toe Jam, £43, absolute. It was my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, mate. This isn't because it's now sadly passed away, but genuinely that fish. I've looked at pictures of that fish. He just had so much about it. Big slopey head, long, big fins, powerful fish, big powerful carp. And I was over the moon to catch that fish and put that in an album for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big long fish.
Oh,
isn't
it's
it,
a
again?
big, it's a big, long, slopey head, big overslung mouth. Yeah. Really deep-bodied, real long carp, wide as well. Yeah. Just an absolute brute of a fish.
Yeah. So was that on your very first session?
That was my first trip back. Yeah. To be fair, I could have had 3.
Right.
But I won't put it down solely down to my waders, but you know what it's like in the night scrambling around, trying to take your heart's beating. Yeah. I sort of like I had my rod in one hand, And I'm trying to get my waders up with my left hand, and you're putting my feet all over the place and all the rest of the stuff. I couldn't get my waders on, and I've got it, and I've gone to give it like the one pull, and the hook's just pulled.
Yeah.
And I lay on my bed, and I was like, oh,
This
I'm in prime position.
Leg, is it?
Yeah, I'm in prime position. Everybody would have chose the point straight away.
Yeah.
I was in prime position, and the pressure's on, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to fish that swim.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen them fish in the morning. So, yeah, the pressure was on to catch, sort of thing. And, once I'd lost that fish, I was sort of really gutted. But I never change anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when I lose fish, or even throughout the months and stuff, I'll always use the same approach, just tweak baits.
Right.
But I'll always fish. I'm not a pop-up fisherman by any stretch, but I'll always change bits in terms of bait. But yeah, I'll never change my approach to catching fish, because I know I can catch fish.
Yeah.
And it'll work in here.
Yeah.
So the best thing, in my opinion, is throughout the months or whatever, I'll just change the baits.
Mm-hmm. So what, will you always fish bottom baits or waft?
Nah, I always fish balance baits, whether it's a
Right.
nut, whether it's tiger nuts. I love the tiger nuts.
Yeah.
Whether it's a wafter, whether it's half wafter, half barrel bait, trim down and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I never, even though there is clean areas in here, real super clean areas, I'll never put anything on the deck or anything pops up. I just think, I don't know, there's something about a balance bait. I just think, for the hooking potential, really.
Yeah, and it's always going to be the first thing.
Yeah, it's always going to be.
Around.
Just for the whole hooking potential. I want, you know what I mean? I just think it's prime all the time. It's ready to go at all times. I just think the balance bait will outfish a pop-up or a bottom bait, in my opinion. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. What about your captures after that?
So my captures after that, I came down. I'd had 10 days off maybe.
Yeah.
But because of lockdown, it not seeing a lot of bait, so the fish were really up for it.
Right.
Like they were up for it quite, like all over the place, to be fair.
Yeah.
So the following week I came down and I managed to get in a swim called Entries.
Right.
And I set up in there just on dark. I got down quite late actually.
Yeah.
But from the following year, I'd not fished in there since the October the year before, sorry. But I'd already had spots logged from that year, so I just wrapped up to them spots. Yeah. And they were still quite nice actually, still quite clean in there. So I just flipped 3 rods out in there. I didn't catch the first night, but they were in there. The fish were up there. So I just tweaked a few things in terms of baiting approach, and I managed to catch, what did he have that time? I had one that I'd caught the season previous, a real nice 36-pound linear. Yeah. Real mega fish.
Yeah.
Repeat, but when they look like that, I mean, it's not ideal, don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's not ideal, but it's nice to see them.
It's going to happen as well.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's not a big lake, is it?
Yeah, it's going to happen. Real healthy and looking real good. And I caught, what else did I catch that night? I had 3 in the end. Oh, I left my rods out that day because they were showing in the day, all day. Yeah. Which isn't something that often happens on here, really, throughout the daytime. And I'd managed to catch a real short, stumpy common. Yeah. Real golden and black, 37-pound. Real perfect, actually. His mouth was in real good nick. Yeah. Real nice one. And I was in there and it was blowing a southwesterly when I got down. And I was lying in bed and I was sort of checking the weather apps whilst I was in bed. And it was due to blow a fresh northerly, and I thought, what I'm going to do tonight is I'll just go and have a creep down when this wind switches, because you know it yourself, Dan, you fish there, they do get on the wind. Yeah, yeah. So I come down into New Bacon and checked. I just stood in there for a couple of minutes anyway, they were there. So I thought, right, sack it. I got grunt and grabbed a bucket, even though I caught out the entries, and went down there and set up while everyone else was asleep. Yeah. And got them out that night around 1:30. I had another one, 34.5 pound.
That's a brave move, just to touch on that.
Yeah, you can't
get on somewhere like this to up sticks after catching.
It is brave. It is. Don't get me wrong, it is brave. But at the same time, these fish
reading the situation,
do. Yeah, these fish do love a fresh wind.
Yeah, definitely.
These fish really do love a fresh wind. To be fair, I wasn't the only one to catch on that wind. Another lad done the same move. He moved out in the middles into the new dig. Okay. And he managed to catch one. So yeah. Obviously, we both had the same plan. Yeah, we both had the same plan, which worked out great, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So that was what?
That was like the 3rd weekend, maybe 4th weekend. And then, how long did I leave it after that?
Much happened on the top? It must have been getting hot.
It was a lot of edge stuff.
Right.
It was a lot of edge stuff.
Yeah.
It not spawned.
Okay.
When we'd started back in June.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of fish sort of grouping up.
Right.
And chasing and stuff. And they were predominantly spending the time around peg 3, peg 4 bank over that side, chasing and whatnot. And a lot of lads were catching from the edges. Peg 6, there's a tree in peg 6 just to your left there. A lot of fish got caught in there.
Right.
Entries, snag.
Yeah.
A lot of fish got caught in there. But yeah, surface stuff, mate. I can't recall anybody doing too much on the surface, to be fair. It's a nightmare in here, Dom.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. The gulls just cause you absolute havoc.
Yeah.
You know, you get a lot of birds on here because I think there's a tip just at the back somewhere here.
Right. Yeah, on a landfill.
Yeah, there's a landfill somewhere, so you get a lot of birds over here, which can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Even if sort of you use that little trick where you're casting spoms over the trees and you're putting lines out the water, you'll still get you still get havoc. Yeah, you'll get a nightmare with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there weren't a great deal, mate, caught from the surface.
Okay.
To be fair. So then, what did I do after that? What month was that? August time. Yeah, I came down in August. Had a couple of repeats from last year. One particular fish actually, he's caused me nightmares. It's a leathery type fish, big old mouth on it, old as the hills.
Right.
I managed to catch him out like 4 different swims since I started fishing. Just causes absolute nightmares. It's a lovely fish. Yeah, lovely fish. But like I say, you don't mind catching them twice.
Yeah.
Maybe once in the summer or the spring and the autumn when they look a bit different because they do get that really
colours,
dark in here in the autumn.
Oh yeah.
So it's nice to see them in different colours. But at the same time, it's no good catching some at 4 times. That's no good at all. So yeah, what did I do after that? What month were we in then?
So that was August, you said?
That was August time. And then, what else did I manage to catch in August? Just trying to think where I fished, mate, to be fair.
That's right.
Where else did I catch them from? The entries, plate, 0.6, peg 5. Do you know what? I had a little bit of a dry spell, actually. Yeah, I had a little bit of a dry spell for a few weeks.
Right.
Just couldn't get on them. It went really peggy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. Isn't
it went really peggy, mate. It's like the plate, point, entries.
Right.
My opinion is just because them swims, because it was real busy at the start, everyone was super keen.
Yeah.
After it sort of quieted down and flattened off a little bit, them free swims were still getting fish consistently.
Yeah.
So the bait was still going in them swims all the time.
Right.
So there were swims that weren't getting fished.
Yeah.
So there was no real reason for the fish to visit them areas.
Yeah.
So every time someone would come down, they'd jump in one of 3 swims. So if you couldn't get in them swims at that particular time, it was quite tricky.
Yeah.
Especially there was a massive, huge weed bed out in front of the plate, and it was just like going off. It does go off in there anyway, Dom. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
It goes off anyway in here because it's just a peg that does a lot of fish all the time.
Yeah.
In whatever conditions, just because it dominates
either
a southwesterly,
either
a southwesterly or northwesterly, a fresh wind, it comes through here. So obviously, if the fish are getting on either, it does command a lot of command a lot of water in that respect. So yeah, there was a massive weed bed out in there, and they were getting caught quite often throughout the night, throughout the day, all sorts of stuff in there. But you just couldn't get on them, mate. You were turning up like, you know what I mean? You had to try and get as close as you can, but even if you were the next peg down, you're a million miles away.
Yeah.
Which was really frustrating. But as soon as that weed bed had sort of shifted off, and then it snagged up over peg 5 and peg 6, they became the swims then, because the fish were on the weed. So then I came back down the following week and I had poolers again. I had poolers again out of the peg 1. I'd done two nights maybe in the point. Conditions weren't great. I just couldn't get by. But do you know something? That point, although I had 2 at the start of the season, it's like a bogey swim to me. Yeah. So I don't know what it is.
It is. It can be. It's a funny swim.
It can be a funny swim. Yeah, it's done me a lot of times, mate.
Yeah.
It's done me quite a few times. So I'd not managed to catch, so I decided to go into peg 1 because I'd seen them up there.
Right.
So I put 2 out in the pond and 1 in the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just speaking to Nick the bailiff,
Yeah.
and one of my mates that gets down there, just at the gate there, and the receiver's gone into meltdown. And a lad that fishes here that's joined this year, Stu, he was saying to me, I've just been watching them over the pipe. It could be 1 or 2 fish. He's good in the edge, Stu.
Yeah.
And we don't know whether he's studied these fish a lot for whatever reason or whatever, but he certainly knows these fish from the pond.
I think he fished it years ago, didn't he, as well? Like
I
in
think
the
he's done a
90s.
bit of time. Yeah, I think he's done a bit of time down here in the past,
Yeah.
but he certainly knows the fish from the pond.
Yeah.
So he was saying to me, mate, I guarantee you that's 1 or 2 fish. It's either poolers or a small common. And even though I'd had poolers before, he is a pest.
Yeah.
He's a greedy bastard. So anyway, I was sort of thinking, please be the common.
Yeah.
You know, even though he's a big fish poolers, you don't want to be...
Yeah.
like I say, like I repeat before, repeat's nice once in a while, but you don't want to keep repeating and whatnot. So I've reeled into it and I've seen this big crusty back and I thought, for God's sake, it's him. It was him. Yeah, we got him out and he looks absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks absolutely massive. It's a big fish, Poodles.
Yeah, yeah.
Big, long.
Yeah, big, long thing.
It's a big, long old thing. Yeah, he looks absolutely huge.
Did you weigh it?
Yeah, we weighed it just
Yeah.
for the sake of doing it,
Yeah.
And he's done £44. £44 something. But that fish is mad. I've never known a fish like it. He goes like 46, 44, 42, 43.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've never known a fish to fluctuate so much through the weights. I think it's what it is he's a greedy, he is proper greedy. That's why he does get caught and he's got a bit of mouth damage. And I think any rig that fish sort of has a go at, he's in shit street.
Yeah.
That fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I repeat, like I said before, he's a lovely old carp. I've made up catch him. It's just Lynch Hill history, that fish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mega old fish.
Yeah, obviously Ian Poole was on the podcast during lockdown.
Yep.
We chatted about that.
Yeah, he's a really lovely carping, mate.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad in a way because if his mouth was in real good nick and he weren't such a slag, he'd be the ones that people want to put in the album. You know?
Yeah.
Like I've met lads down here that have not really done a lot of time down there and they're really keen to catch that carp.
Yeah.
Whereas you speak to some other lads, they're not really that keen.
Yeah. Yeah, you see all the shots, the face is always like pointing away from the camera, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
he always try and get his mouth out of the shot, which is I can understand it to be fair, but he is a really lovely old fish, and I'm made up to catch him. I think if you're doing time down there, it's a history fish. I think if you're doing time down there, and he's definitely one that you sort of have to put in your album.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
I was made up to catch him.
Yeah. So what was that? Was that the end of August?
That was we're talking like mid-August time, mate. Yeah,
right.
Mid-August, and the next trip was it August? Yeah, I struggled again then, mate. To be honest, still peggy.
It's been hot though, hasn't it?
Yeah,
really
my cousin
hot,
came down. We came down, mate.
It was savage.
Not kidding you, it was 38 degrees.
Yeah.
It was 38 degrees. It was only me and him on the pond. 38 degrees.
And you can't escape it.
No, you can't escape it. We reeled in, mate. We didn't even fish throughout the days. We went into Whitney and had a beer and went to Butcher's and got some food. Came back and had a barbie and we just half-hearted fishing, really. You know what I mean? You just know that it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Even throughout the night, mate, you're in bed in your fucking boxes.
Yeah, that's horrible, isn't it? Because you can't be uncovered because of the bloody
they're going home
mozzes,
absolutely like savaged by mozzes.
Yeah.
So we fished it through.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather be here than at work.
Yeah.
But we fished it through and we didn't manage to catch anything. That was pretty tricky. And then September time's been quite a good September for me this year. September I started in peg. Where did I start? Peg 5, Peg 5.
Right.
There's a big weed bed there, just to the left. And done quite a few fish off the weed bed. And obviously going in there, the plan was to fish that weed. But some mate, he was in there before me, and the way he was fishing sort of, I just thought I have to try something different because he didn't manage to catch.
Yeah.
But they were there, you know. So I tried something different, and it definitely worked. 'Cause I had a fish called the Big Lin.
Right.
£40 exactly.
Nice.
Absolutely, honestly, mate, that fish. Photos don't do that carp no justice at all. It's an absolute incredible carp.
Painting, doesn't it? Almost.
It's an incredible carp.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible carp. To tell you the truth, actually, I've missed out this little bit. I went over the Willow.
Right.
That week I struggled. I went over the Willow. Mrs. texted me, and she's working 2 12-hour shifts on the Monday, Tuesday. Obviously, with the children being back at school and all the rest of the stuff, I had nothing else to do. I had time off work, so I thought, sack it, I'm going to have a look around Willow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd done my 4 nights in here, because you're only allowed to do 4 nights on. You have to do 4 on, 3 off.
Right.
So I'd gone over Willow and done a couple of laps around there, because some of the better ones over Willow have been caught.
Right.
So I'd done a lap anyway, and I seen a huge group of them in one corner. So I thought, right, I don't really know a lot about Willow at all.
Yeah.
I've only done like a couple of nights on there in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I set up in Willow, set up 2 swims down off these fish, and had a little lead about in there. And you can put a rig anywhere in there, mate. It's so clean.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, let's try and find something a bit raised or something a bit different.
Yeah.
And I managed to find a little lovely raised area, like 11 foot. Everything else around it was about 15, 16 foot.
Right.
So I plonked 3 rigs on there, set up, and middle of the night, 3:30, something like that, I had a fish called the Black Mirror. Honestly, it's a banger, a mega carp. Black as your hat, real lovely fish. And then I was a bit gutted really, I thought I should have had more. You know, when you just know there's fish there, maybe I should have had more that night. So I decided to pull 2 rods off the spot and leave one there and fish 2 different zones. Mm-hmm. 3 different zones, sorry. So yeah, I fished 3 different spots that second night, and all 3 done a fish. The second night I had the fish called the Halfling, £36. Done another fish called Nicky Williams fish. A little bit of story behind that. I don't know the entire story, why it's called the Nicky Williams fish. I only know little bits and bobs. But that was another common of £39.
Yeah, crikey.
So in 2 nights I'd caught like 3 of the better ones in there, which I was, to be fair, I didn't really know a lot about the carp in there until you catch them. You know what I mean? Until you catch them.
They're stunners, isn't they?
Yeah, oh, incredible carp, mate. Really are, real nice fish. Old fish.
Yeah.
Until you speak sort of like when you caught one and you send in a picture to your mate, like, oh, that's that one. And you're like, oh, fucking hell. So yeah, I'd managed to catch 3 decent ones. I lost one as well, I just couldn't stop it. It's like,
yeah.
I think there's a big cat in there.
Right.
I think it's still in there now. I'm not saying I hooked the thing, but yeah, whatever I'd hooked, I just couldn't stop it. I had a bit of a mare, I had to go and get the boat over on Church and all the rest of the stuff. But yeah, I just couldn't stop the thing. But yeah, for them 2 days, it's well worth dropping in there, mate, so I'm glad my missus gave me that text.
Yeah. Yeah, no, nice. That's the result that is on there.
So yeah, September, mate, yeah. Going back to Peg 5, when I'd had the big Lynn, I had 2 rods out in the pond as well. And I caught another, was it £35?
Right.
Only a half Lynn one side, full Lynn the other side.
Yeah, yeah. What sort of distance are you fishing Peg 5?
Peg 5, I was out like just over 14s, but I was in Peg 6's water. Yeah. But at the same time, it was all right to fish that type of zone because Peg 6 was choked. Yeah. So no, it was unless somebody went in there and physically raked all the weed out. Yeah. Which
no one was going in.
No one was going. No one was up for that unless the pond was absolutely rammo.
Yeah.
And nobody had somewhere to fish and sort of didn't want to go over Willow because people do. Yeah. If they can't fish here, even if Willow's empty, they won't fish. Yeah. You know. Yeah. There's some people that predominantly just want to come Lynch to fish Christchurch. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. I was almost guaranteed that nobody had shift that weed. Yeah. So I was sort of fishing over Peg 6's water, which that spot wouldn't have seen a lot of bait because it's Peg 6's water. I don't think anybody would have thought, oh, I'll drop one in there. So what I'd done is I went round to Peg 6 with a leading rod, used a marker float, gone back to my notes from last year when I fished Peg 6, cast me marker rod out onto that spot from Peg 6, went back round to Peg 5 and then clipped up to it. Yeah, yeah. And then, that night I had that one, mate, yeah. So I was made up to catch him as well. Yeah, brilliant. So after that, mate, I think we're on current time now, aren't we? September, October, no, what did he have last week? I had one from Peg 6 actually, quite a rare one. Right. £29 thing. Yeah. 4 big scales on one flank. Yeah. Real character. Yeah. Like quite a big top lobe, little tiny bottom, real character, like big overslung head, big mouth, but a small stumpy body. Right. Real nice one. Yeah.
That's even the backup fishing here, aren't they?
There's not a bad carp in there.
Yeah.
There's not a bad carp in there, mate. Yeah. You know, like I say, some of these fish, literally, the season makers, mate. Some of these carp really are like they're incredible fish.
No, definitely.
I'm really lucky to fish here. Like some lads, not saying they don't. No one appreciates fishing. Of course they do. But
Yeah.
the lads that fish in this ticket, yeah, they're lucky to be able to fish with these carp.
Yeah.
100%, mate. Because you know what it's like day ticket, Dom. It was absolutely a joke.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolute joke, mate. They had buckets behind buckets.
And you had
buckets.
to plan so far in advance. You had to do 2 nights just for a chance.
Dom, I was
to get
doing 8
into
nights,
one of
mate.
the
I was
swims,
doing 8 nights just to fish 2 nights in the going swim, or you know what I mean. I was doing like.
I mean, and you're not local either, are you?
No, I'm from Crewe, mate. I'm from Crewe.
So what's that in the car? How long's that?
Crewe's like varies really, but on the whole, around 2.5 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming down here and not being guaranteed a swim, can sort of be a blow, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Everyone's here for the same thing, and you can't sort of have a gripe with anybody for wanting to come here and fish because that's what we all want to do.
Yeah, definitely. It's and the rewards are there, aren't they?
Oh, mate, this place, honestly, can real do you.
Yeah.
It can make you feel horrible about your angling. It can make you question everything. But if you get it right, this place will pay you back.
Yeah.
You know, this place does definitely.
It's like you say, it's doing that thing, being a little bit different.
Yeah, if you're a little bit different from the rest, like if you come in and turn up and fish the same as everybody, you'll catch the same as everybody, the same fish.
Yeah.
But if you're a little bit different to everybody and you fish a little bit different, or even if your baiting approach is a little bit different, I've always found here, Dom, that you have to be super accurate with your baiting.
Yeah.
Even if you put 2 left or 2 right, 3 left or 3 right, you can sort of get done.
Yeah.
No probs.
Yeah.
So if your baiting's accurate and you're a little bit different on bits and bobs, then you can catch them ones that, like I say, don't often get caught 3-4 times a year maybe. Yeah. But you can expect that because it's busy 3-4 times a year. Yeah,
you think, obviously even when it's a day ticket, they're just constantly being fished for, aren't they? Year
24/7, 365 days a year. Constant, mate. Even in the winter, remember me and you doing a session down there last winter. It can be really busy, mate. Yeah. At all times. Well, I think it fishes better when it's busy.
Yeah. I was just going to say that because and several people have said the same. If there's just 1 or 2 of you on,
one of you
fish
two,
out of the way, isn't they?
Yeah, you piss in the wind sometimes, unless it's real favourable conditions and you're on it.
Yeah.
If you're not on, you know what I mean. It has to be like something real fresh, like a real fresh southwesterly blowing, and you're in that entries. And even if it's not as busy, you can still catch them. Yeah. But if it's not too busy, mate, it can be real tricky.
Yeah. How long have you been fishing for? When did you get into it?
I didn't start carp fishing, mate, till I was like 14 maybe.
Right.
Started like on the tip rod and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was a young lad.
Yeah.
Just typical young kid that wants to go fishing.
Feeder fishing.
Yeah. What it was, my nana was married to a guy that was in the RAF from Dubai.
Right.
And I could never get round him. So I'd always ring my nan. Oh, Nana, just see if Grandad would take me fishing in the morning. And he'd always turn up every morning. She'd always get round him. But he used to take me fishing, match fishing. But it was one of my mates. When I was a young kid, his granddad used to work at a dairy farm. And on this dairy farm used to be like 3 ponds. Nothing massive in there. But it was nice. It was good fishing. It was good fun. That's all you go for when you're a kid, innit? It's just a fun. And then they started building another pond where they started putting bigger carp in and bigger fish. And then, we had to go over there when we got a little bit older, and that started it really. Yeah. Over there when we started to get a couple of bigger carp. Really enjoyed it.
Nice. Yeah, and then here you are, smashing out 40.
Yeah.
Christchurch.
To be fair, mate, before I'd really got back into carp fishing, don't get me wrong, I'd started real fishing for carp when I was 14, 15 maybe, up until I was 21, maybe 20. Yeah. Then after that, the wheels came off.
Yeah.
So I don't mind talking about anything, to be fair. I mean, I'm quite open about most things. Like,
yeah.
It was I didn't get into the wrong crowd. I just went down the wrong path. And then it was gambling, it was, mate. It was gambling, yeah.
Right.
Sort of, I weren't interested. You know what I mean? I weren't interested in anything. Yeah. Anything other than the. I was basically working, mate. I've always had a job. I've always worked. I've had the same job since I was 18.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a young lad, because I never had much when I was a kid, really. Mm-hmm. A lot of money can sort of be a shock to the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you've got all this money. and you think it's never ending because it's so much. You know what I mean? Because you've never had a lot, you think it's never going to end.
Yeah.
So you go out there and you do your bits, and you start bloody betting on the horses, you start gambling on the roulette machines and all that type of carry on. Before you know it, mate, you've got a bit of an issue. You got a bit of an issue for sure.
Yeah. How did you sort it out then, or when did you realise you had an issue?
To be honest with you, mate, I knew we had an issue from the get-go. Yeah, because I've got a real addictive personality. Some of my real close mates will tell you that straight.
Yeah.
I can smoke like a trooper.
Yeah.
I knew from the off, but it's a real quiet and personal addiction, in my opinion. And because I never sort of let myself go appearance-wise, people would never think that I had that problem.
Sort of do it on the side.
I just do it on the side, almost like a dirty addiction. Do it on the slide, go in the bookies undercover and all that type of stuff. Do things on my phone, like tilt my phone away from my missus and all that type of carry on. Real horrible, mate. But I came to. It was just like a bolt from the blue. I just thought, fuck this. What am I doing? I've got young boys. I've got a family. I've got a mum that really. My mum's not too well, and she was sort of trying to bang the drum for years and years. You know, she knew because I can't lie to my mum. She knew for years and years and years, and I was sort of like ashamed and disappointed that I'd let her down. But with an addiction, you don't give a fuck.
No.
You don't care, mate.
You
know what I mean? You don't care. You got children. You don't care about anything. All you care about is that one
feeding
buzz,
it.
that one little high, and then your happy days. But it soon got a grip in me, mate. A real bad grip, and I didn't have no help to stop. I just took it upon myself, and I thought, you know what, fuck this. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and start mentioning names and all this bollocks, but you know what's well documented. You know yourself. Scott Lowe's one of my good mates. We've worked together since we were 18, and we've known each other a long time. And I was watching his fishing from afar, but I was getting told stories of this place throughout the years. I was getting told the stories doing this and doing that, and I love carp fishing. I'm passionate about carp fishing, and I always have been. But I wasn't interested because of the gambling. That was top of the tree. Everything else was underneath. And I was watching from afar and seeing how he was doing, and I was real envious. Like, fucking hell, if I wouldn't have gone down that route. Not to say I would have got to or caught or achieve what he's done within his own fishing, but I could have definitely 100% had a better, you know what I mean? I could have definitely gone down a different path and enjoyed a better life without a doubt. But I just thought, you know what, sack this, I'm gonna do this. So what had happened was me and my missus was saving up for a little while, and bless her, she said to me sort of, this is your one chance. We can sort of put the money towards a house, or you can get your gear. So that was like the little stepping stone. So I just thought, you know what, sack this. I'm going to get the gear, and I tried really hard. It hurt, mate. It was horrible stopping gambling. It really was. It was horrible. It's like a drug user, mate, or an alcoholic. Coming off what they need. You can't just click your fingers and it's done. You've got to wean yourself off, but I didn't. I sort of just went bang, straight from the off, and it was horrible, mate. It was really horrible. It made me ill. It really made me poorly, mate. But at the same time,
what, mentally and sort of physically?
A little bit, mate. Like, I was just emotional all the time, like really angry as well. Personality-wise, I was horrible. Snappy and just horrible to people, and just wasn't myself, you know. And since I've kicked it in the head, which has now been nearly 2 years, definitely started to feel like more of myself. When I was, before I got into that rut, it's definitely feel like myself, 100%. But what I would say is, to anybody that's going to listen to this, is if anybody's passionate about any hobby or any, not even fishing, anything, if they've got a hobby, if they've got a passion, and they've got an addiction, trust me, if you're passionate about something, you can definitely come out the other side. You definitely can. You just got to want it enough.
And you learn to channel that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That, well, I don't know what you'd call it. Just that, almost that mindset that you've got for that addiction.
This is why, mate. To be honest with you, I owe a lot. I owe a lot to. Like I say, I'm proud. I'm going to sit here and say I'm proud of what I've done. I am, and that's not. something people like to say about themselves, you know. But I am proud of how I've got rid of it. But at the same time, I do owe a lot to not only my family, my friends, but I owe a lot to myself really, because I was a totally different person.
Yeah.
Like I was a totally different person 2 years back, and
Yeah.
this is why I've sort of had to stay on top of the fishing.
Yeah.
Because gambling's an addiction, you can just snap your fingers and you're back in it.
You're there, I suppose.
Yeah, you're just there. It's just a phone, it's everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
You know, you can go on your laptop and while your missus is in bed, you can get work, you can go on your phone and you can do it anywhere. So yeah, there's always that potential. I'm not daft enough to sit here and say, you know, oh, that's me done forever.
Yeah.
But as long as my mind's channeled into doing something that I'm passionate about, I'm pretty certain that I can that I'll be it forever, mate.
Yeah, good. That's what I mean. Yeah, you're putting all that energy into this now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like I say, I have got children.
How old are your kids?
I've got 4 boys.
Right.
I'm only 31.
I was saying you need another hobby.
No. I started really young, mate. Now I can deal with my fishing.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's worked out quite well.
Yeah, yeah.
Now my boys, my oldest boy's 14.
Right.
My second youngest is 9.
Right.
Third youngest is 6, and my fourth is 5.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, there's a nice little, well, I won't say nice age gap, but yeah, there's a few age gaps there. But yeah, I love being a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love being a dad.
Brilliant. Are they into fishing?
The oldest one, he has came locally.
Yeah.
A couple of times last year, but 14 years of age nowadays.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit they can. So much,
yeah.
I think with fishing, Dom, I think you either grew up into it. Personally, I don't think it's something that you can come into it. I don't know. I just think you've got to have it.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys that works for me, Sam, he's 22 now. Loves going out getting smashed, having beers. But he's just started fishing. He sent me a picture on WhatsApp a few weeks ago. Him holding like a little £10 common. And I was like, no way. Because he knows how I fish. So he's just, and he loves it now. Every Sunday. So yeah, he goes to the local pond.
It's definitely addictive.
Yeah.
Definitely addictive.
Yeah, I think he obviously when we had that big low pressure last weekend, he sent me a picture. I think he caught 3 and his mates blanked. I was like, yeah, always the way new one catches and I was blanked. So really, then, just like sort of seriously carp fishing, has it only been since you've knocked the gambling on the head?
Back into it properly, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Like I say, I ain't going to mention names too much, but like I say, he was just on me all the time. Sort of, when you're ready. Yeah. When you're ready. Weren't like pressured into doing it and all that type of stuff.
Baptism of fire on it.
Yeah, but I was keeping in contact. I always used to watch, even when I had this gambling thing, I was always watching videos on YouTube. I was still buying magazines and all that type of carry on. Yeah. I was really still keen to do it. Yeah. I'd even sometimes, mate, I'd go and buy rig stuff. Yeah. Even if it didn't have rods. Yeah. Or anything like that, no alarms, no nothing. Yeah. I'd go and buy rig stuff and just make rigs. Yeah. I was never going to use them. Yeah. But because I knew for a fact that I couldn't afford to go out and get the whole lot at that time, it was just nice to just do little bits and bobs, even though I knew I couldn't go out and do it. Yeah. So yeah, I'd always keep in touch with magazines and YouTube and all that type of stuff.
No, that's good.
But I always knew that, like I say, if you're really passionate about something, then you can. Yeah. You can definitely get back into it, and it's, to be honest with you, mate, other than the kids and whatnot and stuff like that, it's definitely been one of the best decisions I've made for a long time.
And obviously, you're now well in touch with this place, aren't you? Because you're coming in, you're consistent.
Oh yeah,
that's made such a difference.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of these fish have been caught multiple times as well. Now it's syndicate. Yeah. Because people are able to keep on top of the fish. Yeah. They're able to come here every week. Mm-hmm.
Can you always get a swim now, syndicate?
Yeah, you can, but like I say, when it was real pegging, sort of, you are close, but you're still a million miles away again. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not close enough. Mm-hmm. It's been busy at times, but like going back to before, this place will find you out. Mm. And I think some of the boys have sort of struggled a little bit. Have not appeared again for a little while.
Is there many new faces?
Yeah, there's a lot of new lads. To be fair, everyone that I've met on here has been absolutely sound.
Right.
And I've not got a bad word to say about anybody really.
Yeah.
Everyone's sound as a pound.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a real nice mix as well.
Right.
There's like lads that are a bit more advanced than others.
Yeah.
There's lads that are down there, never fished here, probably never fished this type of pond.
Right.
There's a nice mix down there.
Yeah.
And everyone gets some of everybody really. There's nobody that really comes down there causes any mither trouble.
Yeah. It's one of those lakes that I think it's quite well documented on social media. It's very easy to look at and think, oh, I fancy a go at that.
100%.
When you see all the big fish and then you get down
big
to a
fish,
bit
people
of a
come
kick
here
in
with
the
a lot of
nuts.
bait. Yeah, people come here with a lot of bait, big fish.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah,
but
but you think the fish are like,
now the
no
fish see
chance,
that and
mate.
think,
Yeah.
they'll
So
let me
we've
just-
got a newbie over here. It's like a big pile of bait scattered
Yeah,
everywhere.
basically they give you the welcome, mate.
Yeah.
They'll show all over and give you the middle finger.
That's it, yeah, that's mental, isn't it?
Oh.
I've said it multiple times on this podcast, I'm sure I have. Like last year when you think, rubbing your hands together, fizzing.
I genuinely think, mate,
flopping over your spot.
when these
nothing.
fish show on you in here, they don't feed on you.
Yeah.
I almost feel
It's like they're just marking the spot for later.
it's almost like the feed have pegged down.
Yeah.
Or you could see them showing in one end of the pond, and then you wake up in the morning, and two lads in the other end of the pond have had fish. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They were on me last night.
Yeah.
What's going on there? These fish don't play by the rules.
No.
You think you're at home, you're looking at the weather up at home, looking,
Yeah.
there's a low pressure, there's a new southwesterly.
Yeah, they'll be up there.
They'll be up there, you get down there, you set up down there, and they're just not there.
Yeah.
Just don't play by the rules. But I like it like that.
Yeah, no,
Like,
definitely, yeah.
It's a lot more rewarding when you catch anything.
Yeah.
Anything in there, like there's nothing in there that I'd kick off.
Yeah.
Nothing in there, mate. Even some of the smaller fish in there, they're all their own little characters.
Yeah.
Even all the bigger fish, like the big commons in there, they've all got something different about one of them. Every one of them's different. That's why I love this place so much. There's a lot of variety.
Yeah, yeah.
You got
definitely.
you got scaly ones. You've got
Yeah.
the big. They're not plain. They're just big brutes.
Yeah.
Like scar, like
Yeah.
single scale, that type of fish.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the real scaly ones,
Yeah.
big plates, and you've got all types of fish in here, mate. There's a big variety.
You mentioned obviously the weed. Is it
Yep.
still quite thick out there?
The surface stuff isn't.
Right.
The surface stuff is real minimal, but there's a lot of weed on the deck.
Yeah, 'cause I
Yeah, there's
remember
still a lot of weed.
this time last year, actually, I did a little bit.
Yeah.
And they were always shown right either in or right by the weed beds.
Oh yeah, they love the
so I was
weed.
getting taste.
Yeah, they definitely do love the weed, mate.
Yeah,
There's a
must be
big spot.
rich.
There's a big spot. I remember actually I fished in here last winter. You was in Old Bacon, remember rightly?
Yeah. That was was that November? or something
November
like
time,
that?
mate.
Cold,
Absolute
wasn't it?
freezing.
Yeah.
Baltic, mate.
Yeah.
Absolute freezing. We was down here with Rob was down
Oh,
here, had a lot
Rob,
of fire and
that's
that.
it,
Yeah,
yeah,
we had a few
yeah,
beers
yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You was in the Old Bacon there,
Yeah.
and they were showing on you, weren't they?
Do you remember when I packed up, they started showing?
Showing, yeah.
I
Like,
just wound
fucking
in. I
that's
was like,
typical, yeah.
that happened like 2 or 3 times on the bounce.
Yeah,
like,
all the time,
I'd
mate.
wind
Yeah, it
in,
happens
it
every
just started
time.
showing, yeah.
You'll have the whole pond.
Yeah, because that was the edge of that weed bed, wasn't it? That was in front of
that's
one.
there, mate. That's
yeah.
constantly there all the time,
Yeah,
and that's why I think peg one does quite well quite often.
yeah,
Because that weed's there, and what happens? That weed there.
yeah.
That's why I think the plate does really well. Because
Right.
to the right of the plate there's a big weed bed.
Yeah.
To the left
So
of
it's
the
like a
plate there's a
gap
big
in
weed
between,
bed,
yeah.
and it's a big spot.
Yeah.
And out at the back of the spot, you got that central line, almost like their little pathway, where they like go up and down the pond. So
Yeah.
you've got like a nice big weed bed to the right, one to the left. You've got the pathway at the back.
Yeah.
You've got the big spot out there. So I think they certainly know there's food in there.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
When it's fishing tricky, like super tricky, when it's a little bit colder and stuff, this will still produce the fish.
Yeah.
It's almost like me and you. When we're hungry, we go fucking McDonald's, don't we?
Yeah, because it's easy, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
easy, it's convenient.
Yeah.
When these fish are hungry, it's convenient. They'll come to the plate
Yeah.
and get, you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
come in here.
How do you think it's going to fish in the winter with the use of like zigs and everything?
Well, I'd never fished digs in here. In fact, I had a lot of go last January.
Yeah.
Last January, you was here January last year. I
Yeah.
had fucking mither with the badger.
Yeah.
Absolute mithers.
Yeah.
Brought some maggots down. I don't know why, but I drilled 6 holes in the top of the bucket. I don't know whether that's even a thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, I bought some maggots and I've gone in the middle trees and put the maggots against the tree in the bucket. And I was fishing out with Brolly, and he heard like real like snorting. I thought, what the fuck is that? So I just poked my head out my bag, and he's absolutely on my feet.
Yeah.
He's on my feet, and I've let out the biggest scream in the world. I think you even messaged me actually.
Yeah,
And
I was
said,
like,
mate, are you all right?
right?
Mate, are you all right?
Yeah.
I was like, mate,
Because
this
the
bag
guy, I
is
can't remember
causing
the
me
guy's name
chaos.
opposite, he messaged me saying, what was that? I said, I think Ben's having issues with it.
He caused me absolute chaos. So anyway, he'd been in the bucket, he'd decimated the maggots.
Yeah.
Gone. Absolutely all of them gone. I had a lot of go with the zigs then,
Yeah.
but I didn't manage to find the depth. I think it's quite... Like I say, I've never really given them a good go in here.
Yeah. I think it was a week after I had that one. That one must have been February. Actually.
Oh, mate, that's one of the ones I want to catch.
Yeah.
He's a real lovely fish, like a blue steely.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's
no,
39,
30,
something.
yeah, high 30s.
Yeah.
That's been out once this year already.
Right.
£39.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
couple of lads have seen it actually in the snags.
Jig. Yeah.
You reckon it's looking quite big.
Yeah.
He's a lovely fishing, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to catch him. Not on the zigs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was, but down in the corner in the point.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, like the little bit on the left.
Oh, mate, they love it in there.
Yeah, just like a little underarm
Yeah,
flick
they
out.
absolutely. That's
I think
done
it
a
was
lot
like
of fish.
it was like 8 wraps out, and it's probably like 9 foot zig I fished.
Oh, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
lovely
definitely one of those ones that I'd like to put on the album.
Yeah,
He's a really lovely carp. I've never seen him on the bank.
yeah. And Nick said that, and then I think he had to ask Scott.
Yeah, I've never seen him. You do see a lot
Yeah.
of fish quite often, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's a small pond.
yeah,
When someone catches one, excuse me, when someone catches one, you can nip down a couple of swims
Yeah.
and have a little nosy.
yeah,
So you do sort of see a lot of the carp in here, but
Yeah.
he's definitely one of the ones that I've never seen on the bank.
yeah. Yeah,
Got a real lovely shape to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Almost like scar shape.
That's it. Yeah, sort of all well proportioned.
Real,
isn't it?
yeah, real. It looks like he can look after himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he don't get bullied about. He's a real
Yeah,
nice fish.
yeah, yeah.
Is he
a
clean? Mouth
solid,
clean,
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's a nice fish that one.
Yeah, I want to catch him.
Yeah. So yeah, I think zigs are definitely worth a shot.
Yeah, done a few fish in February, didn't it? I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
From what I believe, the point was doing really well on the bait.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, because they allowed it just for like, was it 2 weeks?
On the maggots, on the
maggots
casters.
And, yeah, and zigs, and they just turned it off, didn't they?
Yeah, then we had bloody COVID.
Yeah.
Absolute shite.
Yeah. And that was that.
So yeah, this is why at the moment I work shifts,
Yeah.
so I can get a lot of time off. We get a lot of annual leave at my job,
Right.
and I did save a lot anyway for this autumn. To be honest with you, because I loved the October on here.
Yeah.
I done really well last October. I had
Yeah.
like over 8 nights. I had like 16 carp.
Oh wow.
Over 8 nights fishing in the same swim.
Yeah.
So I know how productive it can be. In fact, one morning, this is no exaggeration, mate. Every fish that was being fished,
Yeah.
bar a couple that obviously weren't being fished, there was one peg that didn't catch. Every other swim
Right.
across the pond, it must have been, I don't know, there's 19 swims on here, so
Yeah.
talking 14 pegs.
Yeah.
Every swim done a fish in one morning. It just went mad.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, was that like? Yeah, because that was when I had that full scale. That was that.
Yeah, it's
just the end
using
of that.
peg 5.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it,
Yeah, that's
using
right.
peg 5. I was in the
Yeah.
entries.
Yeah.
Using peg 5, mate. One morning it just went mad, I think.
Yeah, it's weird, wasn't it? Like a 60. I think it was like a 16-hour period.
It
was
just
like,
went crazy.
Yeah.
Mate. All you
yeah.
heard in the morning was just like fucking scales rattling.
Yeah.
Where people were weighing fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just went absolutely
Yeah.
mad. Yeah, 4 scale. Oh,
And
I'm
that
not caught
other
it.
one, that little mirror as well. That like took a real chestnutty.
I've like a single
round
scale on
thing.
one
Yeah.
flank.
Yeah,
I know what you're
lovely
talking about.
thing.
Yeah, he's a nice carp.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 scale. He's one of the ones that I want to catch.
Yeah, see Lance had it, didn't he?
Yeah, Lance had that quite early actually
Yeah.
in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite a tricky one actually.
Yeah.
He's not a frequent visitor, is he?
Yeah. No, Nick said that, and it did, but it does like 5 and 6, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that
well,
area?
funny you should say that because you had it out of 5. I think Nick had it from peg 6.
Yeah.
Or peg 5 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's quite a tricky one to catch. Real lovely carp.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think there's a lot like that in here. That's obviously it must be that strain.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them fish that are that colour,
Yeah.
that shape.
Yeah, like that.
Got
grey,
yeah, like a grey blue.
blacky,
Yeah, real nice fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely one of the ones before I pull off here.
Yeah.
That,
Have you got how many more targets have you got, or have you got a set amount? Because you want to go on Stonies, don't you?
yeah, I'm going over Stonies in March next
Yeah.
year. To be honest with you, mate, if I went over there now, I'd be happy.
Yeah, yeah. I bet.
I'd be really happy. I've had like 38, 39 fish and lost 3.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to go over now, but there's so many.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'll never catch them all.
Yeah.
So
And it's that thing
you set
that
yourself,
gets under
you
your
give yourself a
skin,
little
doesn't it?
target in your head. When you reach that target, if you kept going, you could keep setting yourself new targets. In the end, you'd never pull off it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you just got to be happy with what you got, mate. Some people come down here and don't catch them.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So sometimes you just got to take your medicine and just go.
Yeah.
Be happy with what you've got. You can always come back on it.
Yeah.
It's always going to be here. So
that'll be the thing, though, the draw of spring, of May on it when you're over there.
The thing is, though, from what I believe, like I say, I know a lot of people that fished over Stoneacres.
Yeah.
In the spring, it does really well.
Right.
That's why I want to start on there in March.
Yeah, because doesn't that one switch on before this one? Is
yeah,
that
one starts in spring.
Yeah.
That does a lot of fish. That does a lot of captures. So I believe, anyway.
Yeah.
In the spring.
Yeah.
So ideally, I could do is starting on there in March when it's still a little bit cool.
Because they like a zig in there,
nice.
don't they, as well?
What's that, sorry?
They like a zig in there.
Oh, they like a
zig,
zig, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've not fished over there.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm saying now is just what I've been told or what I've heard or, you know. So from what I believe, yeah, they love a zig over there. But at the same time, yeah, I think March would be a good time because the visibility would be sweet. So I'll be able to go over there and do stuff in the boat and have a look about and whatnot, and then I can get set then for the spring. Yeah,
that's almost like learning a complete new discipline.
Oh, it's not. I've never fished that style.
Yeah,
I've never fished that style of angling.
You can get pickle very quickly,
yeah,
can't you?
Of course you can. I like to cast from the bank. I like to feel everything through my hand.
Yeah,
from the bank through the rod.
Yeah.
Whereas you can still go over there and cast from the edge and do that type of stuff, but predominantly it's boats.
Yeah.
But definitely open up a new different angle to my fishing, which I'm really excited about. The fish over there just go up a level, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of them are very long, aren't they?
A lot of them are absolute. I've seen a lot of them on the bank.
Right.
I won't say a good. I've seen a fair few of them on the bank, and honestly, mate, it's just. I reckon every fish in that pond would literally be a target fish.
Yeah.
Everywhere else.
Yeah.
Them fishing there are stunning.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get over there and hook one, mate. To be honest with you.
Yeah. You can almost say that about 70% of the whole complex. You think about on here, on willow as well.
Mate, these fish, like I say, it sounds like I'm really biased, but I have to be, mate.
Yeah.
Because it's the first. Don't get me wrong. When I was 14, I think it was 14, me and a couple of mates, we had a sleepover at my house, and my old man took us down to we fished Hardwicks on the Linear complex.
Yeah.
We managed to have a couple out of there and whatnot, but predominantly I've not done a lot of fishing down there at all, Oxford or anywhere really.
Yeah.
So that's why sort of when I got back into fishing properly, I'm really biased towards this place because it's just felt right to be here.
Yeah. There's no better place.
No, there's no better place. We come through them gates. Yeah. You just feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
And you just like even when I know I'm coming down, you're up in bed at night.
Yeah.
Thinking about
planning it.
Yeah, planning it.
Where would
then you get down here, the fucking place is rammed, and you plans out the window.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, but I love this place, mate. I really do. It's going to be hard to ever pull off here, but I have got plans. Like I say, I've got plans. I never say never, but I've got plans to continue fishing for as long as I can.
Yeah.
And
it's good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you, mate. Even my missus says now, mate, like you're a totally different person. Yeah. You're so much better to be in the house around, and you're so much happier, and all the rest of the stuff. Yeah, it's definitely good for you down here.
Yeah.
And to top it off, this is about sounding like a bit sucking up or whatever. It's run really well.
Yeah.
The bailiff's an absolute top. Yeah, the bailiff's a top lad. It's real nice to be down here. Like I say, all the lads are sound. Even on day ticket, there's no real dickheads. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Because you got Linear down the road.
Exactly. Yeah. So that would filter them all out. Wouldn't it?
They'd go there before they came here.
Yeah.
So you'd almost sort of get the people down here that had regularly come here. So it was almost like a syndicate when it was day ticket.
Yeah.
But there was a lot more volume of people. But I certainly love being here, mate. It's wicked.
No, definitely.
And the fish.
Yeah.
Just top it off.
Yeah.
And if you can get into them, that's an even bigger reward.
Yeah. And that feeling of someone like here, again, I've said it before, like going to bed with that level of expectancy.
I want to go when I get in bed.
Yeah.
Mrs. like, just go sleep.
Yeah.
And she wakes up at early hours and I'm like, just still tossing and turning.
Yeah.
I'm half
waiting.
asleep.
Yeah.
Got one eye on my phone. Got one eye on.
Yeah. Or listening to the pond. Yeah.
Sometimes she says to me like, I know the fishing's good for you, but you do actually need to switch off.
Yeah.
You do need to switch off a little bit. I'm like on my phone, like texting lads down here. Yeah. I'm not a pest by any stretch, but you just want to know what's going on.
But did you hear that? Yeah, I was sat in front of you. Yeah, yeah.
You just want to try and stay on top of them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a sight to behold when the big ones start lumping out.
Oh, they go crazy in here. They go crazy. They don't half put a show on in here for you.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
But, like I say, you think you're going to have them.
Yeah.
And you won't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny old
You just
place.
put out that big red flag, mate. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have that. But yeah, once you land one, mate, once you hook one and you've landed it.
That's it.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be anything, mate.
Yeah.
Even like the 20-pounders, like a 20-pound carp around my way, it's a big carp.
Yeah.
Crew Cheshire, there's nothing around there really.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming down here, it's definitely opened up my eyes to carp fishing without a doubt.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. How many more nights have you got to your back?
This is my last night tonight, mate.
Right.
But it feels really good tonight.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm hoping. To be fair, the last 2 nights they've been in this central area here. And
right.
There's been a few fish caught from. Obviously, I had one myself this morning.
Yeah.
A guy opposite me in Peg 3, he managed to catch a couple.
Right.
And there was a lad in Peg 4. He had one the night
Yeah.
before that. So they've definitely shifted across into this middle zone.
Yeah.
100%. What I think they're doing is they're spending a day down one of the ends of the pond.
Right.
Because a couple of these fish, they've had leeches on already.
Yeah.
Which is a bit strange. I don't know whether that's a strange thing, I don't know. But
yeah.
they've had leeches on, so it's almost like they've been just sitting out of the way.
Yeah.
Not even being active throughout the
Yeah.
day. And then as soon as night draws in, they come real active. And yeah, they've definitely turned up in this area and got on the bait.
Yeah.
Which obviously is what we want.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, so got any predictions? When do you reckon one's going to go off?
You've had that little window at the minute.
Yeah.
Early doors, 4:30, 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
If anything happens before 12 o'clock, it's just a random out of the blue.
Yeah.
But predominantly it's been like a little window, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Hopefully, mate,
in
the morning,
that'd be good.
they'll turn back up.
Yeah, definitely. Right, well, that's we've been going for over an hour now, mate. So we'll wrap up there.
Yeah, sweet.
Brilliant.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's nice to see you again, actually.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, mate.
No worries, mate.